I love file folders. So I am going to alter another, well, no, this isn't the same size as the journal I just made and sent off. This is a legal size folder. The other was 11 by 17. So this is legal size, which is smaller than your normal letter size folder. And I need it because I am going to be using this in my craft room to file some miscellaneous things, that paperwork that doesn't fit. Like, let me just show you. I just did some more reorganizing in my craft room, and I was going to craft all weekend, and I wound up organizing instead. That's kind of the way a lot of us crafters are, I know. But anyway, I had left over like all these like kind of oddball bits. So some of this older, oh, I forgot the artist who did these, but all these like mixed media vellums, some, I believe this is a Heidi Swap, like a old planner kit, and I took out some pages and kept some that I thought, oh, that'd be cute in a junk journal. So, and some Seven Gypsies papers, just all these like miscellaneous things I've, I did like this. I was doing a test run on some beeswax and with a stamp, so that's like a test page. All these little just loose things that I want to, it doesn't fit anywhere else, so I'm going to just kind of throw it in this file folder and yeah, have it for like storage for that. So I needed like a really big letter size file folder. Wasn't going to be big enough by the time you add in this thickness, so that's why I went with the legal size here, and it will still fit in my IKEA storage over here, so I can like just throw it in one of the slots. And but it's also, I wanted to make it pretty, so it's an excuse to do something crafty. And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do right now. And when I started this, and again, this is another coffee dyed file folder that I had put one of those plastic placemats over, just like I did on the other one I had shown. I did not do the inside of this. This is just the coffee stain that was left over. I love these folders so much. And I reinforced it with some Tim Holtz fabric eclectic elements right here. And then I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shirt, a lace shirt that I found at Goodwill, and I had cut it all apart just for the fabric, and that is what I'm going to use to cover this piece right here. So it had a couple of pockets on it, and so that's what I am going to use as well. So I have this piece that I'm getting ready to cover. I'm just going to use tacky glue to spread all over this, and this is going to be covered all on the outside with this fabric right here. Again, it's just a cut up shirt from Goodwill. I'm going to cover the whole thing. Don't need to worry about the inside. And right now I'm trying to get the basics laid out, because I'm going to do some sewing on my sewing machine. So my intention is to close this up all the way around, except of course for the top, so that I can slide my stuff in. And I want this enclosed. So I'm trying to get the structure down right now before I do that. And I need to let this glue dry, because I'm going to be using a wet glue. I don't want that to go through my sewing machine, so I need to give it like plenty of time to dry, like overnight actually. And I've already done a couple of other pieces that are going to go with it. So I'm going to be putting a pocket here And I've already glued this. This is already dried overnight. And I didn't do the back because you won't see it. So I thought about cutting out a big square so that I wouldn't waste the material, but I don't want to have to measure anything and cut out. So I'm just going to cover this whole file folder. And then I also have a little tuck spot here. I'm using the fold. Oh, and this is left over from that 11 by 17 file folder that I converted to a junk journal in one of my previous videos recently. And the purple steampunk one. This is what's left over. So it was sitting on my counter and I thought, well, let me just use that too. Because at first I had no intention of doing anything, you know, to it. Just covering it and decorating it. But then I saw this and I was like, well, let me just add a couple of pieces. So I'm going to have this be a pocket. So I'll be sewing this before I sew the sides. After I get this fabric adhered, I'm going to sew down the sides while it's open here. Hopefully that won't be a problem. It might. I don't know. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself as usual. So anyway, I want to keep this where I can tuck other things smaller in here. And I also have this piece, and I just used the regular fold that was in the folder and decided I want to have another piece right here that'll get sewed down. And there were pockets, a couple of pockets built into the shirt. So I decided to utilize that. So that'll be a pocket right there that I can stuff some things into. And then I also had another pocket, and I cut it apart. And that one is going to go off to the side here. And I'm going to sew that down so that I can tuck things in here. So this is how it's going to work. This is kind of the construction I just decided to go with. So this will be all sewed down right here. And this will flip up. And I did do lace on the back side as well. And again, so this will flip up. I'll have a pocket here and a pocket here on the outside too. So right now, what I'm going to do is throw on some vinyl gloves because this is going to get messy with the wet glue. And I'm just going to spread the glue out all over here, adhere this down, and wait for it to dry overnight. And then do the stitching on it, and I'll be back. Okay, so this is how my file folder turned out. So everything dried overnight, and I decided to just stitch everything because I knew that was going to be time consuming. And here is the back side. I love that back side. I think that's pretty. And I love how you can still see the design. I'm not going to do anything to this back because the way it's going to be going into my little slot, it's going to slide in like this. So I want to keep this completely flat. And I really just like it. And this is where I'm going to do all the decorating. So I decided that I wanted to keep the raw edge on the file tab here instead of covering it with lace because I liked the contrast. I did use like a rusty brown thread too because I wanted to have contrast on the stitching. I was going to go with black, but then yeah, I just decided it was a little too harsh, and so I decided to go with this rusty brown color. And I'm a horrible sewer, so nothing is perfect here. And so I sewed all the way around it, even here on the edges, on the bottom, just to secure everything in, even though everything is kind of glued down really well. I probably didn't even need to do as good a job with gluing it since I knew I was going to be decorating this, so a lot more glue's going on it, and then also just enclosing it with all the sewing really secures it in as well. But I am glad I did do that on the back here because none of this is puckering up and there's no gaps or anything. It's laying flat really well, and I really love it. Okay, so then I tucked this little piece in here. This is the one that had the natural fold in the folder, and my dumbass forgot when I sewed around finally to close this all up. I meant to open this up and do the sewing here. Well, I didn't do that, so I had to I totally forgot. So I just had to make another fold, and I don't really like that, but that's just the way it worked out because I wasn't thinking. So anyway, so this is the front. I'm going to do the decorating now. So we've got our little pocket here. Cute. Open it up. We've got a space to work with here. We've got the big pocket back here. We've got the other little pocket here, and then the shirt pocket, another one of those shirt pockets right here. So I think it's really cute. And I decided, I pulled some things out. This applique piece right here, I decided I wanted to use, I thought the colors went really well with this folder. So I'm going to completely take this, do some snipping on this to decorate this folder with. And I can't remember if I got this from Crafty Me or Ally. I don't remember. And I'm also going to use Sam Poole's digitals. So I have some of her photos that I have no idea where the other two photos went now. Oh, they're over here. No, where did they go? I've lost my photos. Oh, I was going to sew them. Duh. Well, I meant to sew these and I forgot. So I'm going to have to sew these, and maybe I'll just fast forward through that part. I don't know. I'm a lazy editor. Plus I suck at editing. Okay, so what I wanted to do, what I thought I would do is layer some music sheet. And this is a big sheet that I just used a tear ruler to, you know, get the torn edges. And this is a coffee dyed music sheet. And I just cut out a little square that I want to glue down here on top of this pocket here. And then I wanted to use this little piece here. This came actually from a collar piece, and that's right here. So this was a collar applique, or whatever you call these. And of course, you know, I'm not using it for that. And I tore off two pieces because I'm going to edge the top of this pocket and this pocket. And so I've got two pieces of those. So this is going to go on that one. And I like how it has a natural curve to it, and because this pocket's kind of drooping a little bit. So that's why I decided to use that. So that's how I'm going to decorate that. And then I'll probably sew a button to go maybe down here. I don't know. I'm still playing with the design. And then I am going to use this flower that I had backed with a doily and some eyelash trim, and I was going to use this in a project some time back, and I never did. This flower is from when I was on the Trésors Deluxe design team, and I'm finally using that because that's been gosh, I can't even tell you how many years ago. Like I said, I did a layering. Even this doily is from the Paper Bag Lady. For those of you crafters who've been around for a gazillion years, if you know, you know. I don't know. She may still be around. I don't know. Anyway, so I was going to use that as my my focal flower on this. And then I'm going to tear into this. Trying to figure out which piece I was going to use. I'm going to gonna start cutting into this applique here, and I think the way I had it, I did kind of have it where, yeah, I think it was kind of like this. So I did have it where the applique is going to come out up on top of the photo as well. Now I'm trying to think, now I may switch it and have the music sheet be on this side. You guys are just going along the ride with me here on the process part. So this is where I yammer on and on about nonsensical things that I know you could care less about. So, okay. I think I want to do something like that. Yeah, because I really don't, I kind of wanted to leave these images right here and with this lace a little more. I want that to be shown a little bit more. And I did edge the music paper with soft suede, Stampin' Up! Ink. Not that it matters. You can use whatever brown ink you like. So yeah, so we're going to do something like that. And I'm going to cut this applique off right here. And have that be this corner. Like I said, I'm going to try to figure out, I'm probably going to sew a button. I have a needle over here threaded with some coppery, metallic copper thread. I don't know if you can see that. And in that estate sale, I had a bunch of these mother of pearl buttons. This was another like score in that estate sale too. So like all these buttons right here and right here were in that estate sale. Oh, I was so giddy when I saw this. I was like, oh my gosh, mother of pearl buttons everywhere. So I think I'm gonna just grab one of these and see where, I don't know if I want to use like a small one or a bigger one, just to kind of go with the theme here. I don't know, might not be using, maybe I won't use anything right here, maybe on the corner. I think that's why I don't like it, it's too big. I have these smaller ones here. Yeah, so I might do something like that. Let's thread one of these just to see if I'm gonna like it. Or do I just want the one? No, I like it better with the three. Let's see. This is going to be boring watching me sew. Just hit the fast forward. Oh, it just came out. My needle just came out. Oh, shoot. Phooey magooey. Alright, I think I'm going to pause here and try to get a little bit of this done before I move on to the next step, because this is going to be totally boring watching me do all this. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I wound up not doing the process video on this because it was just taking way too long. So I'm just going to do a review of what I did here. This is the way I decided to cluster the photo for the cover of my pocket here. I just went with some threaded buttons. I think I may have already covered that in my previous video. And then I made a mistake with this, so I cut the applique apart. I made a mistake. I went to the very bottom of the file folder with this flat folded down. Instead of doing at the very bottom, see, I mean, it turned out being okay. I'm actually okay with this now, but, whoops, let me get in frame. But really, this, I meant to have it start right here and go up just the length of this flap right here. So I made a mistake. I had to really finagle to get the glue up because I used a big glob of hot glue to get that sucker down. And so I wound up having to do some first aid to the back. And that's why you see this little applique that I cut right here in the corner, because that kind of made a mess right there. And that was just my cover up. But I love this. I think it's so pretty, and I'm going to really enjoy putting my stuff in here and keeping it in my craft room, even though you're not going to see it, but, you know, still. It'll be nice when I pull it out and work with the contents that are inside this, that are going to be stored inside the folder anyway. And then back here, sorry, I've got a mess right here. On the inside, again, I was going to make a pocket out of this one. And have it be a little slanted, and I was going to do like a pocket here, but then I decided with the pocket here, that it would be too bulky and would cause this to just sit up too high, and I didn't want to do that, so I decided to just glue the whole thing down. If I had it to do over, I would make a change here. I don't like the bow. This is an applique bow that I dyed, and I don't like the way that looks, so if I had it to do over, I would do something different there. Maybe just use the buttons on its own is probably what I should have done. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. And then I have like another little sample element that's tucked in the flowers right here, and that's pretty much all I did. It was just gluing appliques and the photo backed with the music paper. Again, just something pretty to look at when I'm have this folder out and I'm working. Then, so you've got the pocket here, and it's basically the same thing. I did the applique up in this corner here. This is the cover up. I glued those pieces down from that collar, and then I used the bow here. For some reason, I like the bow over here on this side as opposed to on the other side there. I'm okay with that. And I love this applique. Another little tuck spot here with an element from the sample line. And then I also, and then you've got the big pocket back here. So I do have, I did decide to use a label here. I just like the look of having it look like a working file folder. And so I put a little label back there, and then I I stamped, I think this is from Sample's stamp set. In addition to her digitals, I have some of her stamp and die sets. So I think this came from her set. I don't remember because this was in my hoard of already made embellishments and stamped images and stuff. So I just pulled it out of that. But I'm pretty sure that came from a Sample set, stamp set. And so I did it on really thin parchment paper and then kind of inked it up and decided to put that there. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I keep going out of frame. Sorry. I got to reset this camera because it's way too high. And yeah, so now it's great because now I can just stick all my stuff in. Excuse me. So instead of putting all those other miscellaneous items in here, I changed my mind. And I decided that I wanted to put Odalcina scraps and Sample digitals in here because they're both like really shabby chic digital artists. So I thought their sets would go really well with this file folder. So I decided, right now I only have, for printout pages, I have Odalcina's, a couple of her sets in here. So that will just go right back in here. And then I have some bigger cards. These are from Odalcina. So I'll stick those kind of like right there. And then all these from Sam Poole. And put that like that. And then I have, again, some more cards from both digital artists. And I'll stick those there. Kind of spread it out so that it's not so bulky in one particular spot. So spread that out. And then for the front, again, just more miscellaneous. Trying to spread it out before I put it in this time around. And stick those in there, and now I have this great working folder, and I absolutely love it. So anyway, I hope you got a little bit of inspiration on how to alter some file folders, and I'll see you guys next time.